Hey guys, so earlier today we passed our first ever $100,000 account on Funding Pips, and we're going to be talking about all of this towards the end of the video. But for now, we're just going to head over to our VPS where we can look at the combined performance of all of our forex robots. So the first we're going to be looking at is Alpha Gold. I'm sure you guys have heard of this expert advisor, and this is the current performance of a demo account. We're currently about $45,000 up right now. You can see we have a trade, we don't have a stop loss or a take profit, so we usually have a time-based entry and a time-based exit. And if you look at the history here, this was the performance in September. We started in September, we made around $11,000 in September, and in October, let me just go to custom period, October 1st to November 1st. So you can see we made about $31,000 in October, which was a very good month for gold. And in November, custom period, from November 1st to today, we are currently up about $3,400, and we are currently up on equity right now about $2,300. So that brings us to the total equity of about $5,000 or $6,000, thereabouts, for the month of November. So you can see that over the past 3 months, this expert advisor has consistently made profits. Even while gold was trending downwards, the expert advisor was still making profits. So apparently I gave the password of this account to some of you guys to just follow up and learn from the expert advisor, to see how the expert advisor trades and also learn from it. And apparently some of you went to place trades on this account here. So you can see all of this here. The expert advisor only places a trade with a lot size of 1. So all of these trades here, if I should click on columns and click on magic number, you can see there is no magic number here. Okay, there's a magic number. Apparently somebody even puts a bot on the account. All right, so all of these 0 points here was taken by some of you. So apparently I've learnt my lesson, and I am never giving out trading passwords again. So let's move to the next account, which is PeepForge. I'm sure all of you know about PeepForge. We are currently trading this on futures as well. We started in September, and we are currently up about $9,000 on futures right now. As you can see here, we are currently up about $2,300 on equity, and that brings us to about 110% profit. But I'm not going to go into this too much because we're also trading this on gold. As you can see here, we started this test in October, and we're currently up about $82,000 from $100,000 account, which is about 82% profit. I'm just going to head over to the history so we can see the custom periods performance. So let's just look at this for October. Head over to October 1st down to November 1st. So you can see we made about $58,000 in October. And if I head over to custom period and I head over to 1st of November down to today, we made about $24,000, which brings us to about $82,000 here in total, right? But there are some issues with this PeepForge expert advisor. One of them is the fact that I've noticed that the performance is not the same across multiple brokers, and I believe that's probably because of the time-based entry and some of the calculations that we used here. So usually what I do is to optimize it specifically for that broker, but I am really not comfortable with that because I would like a scenario whereby if a trade is placed on this broker, a trade should also be placed on every other broker, so that brings uniformity. So you don't have to be checking all of the accounts where you have this PeepForge on. The second issue is, if you notice, there are scenarios whereby we have an entry here and the price goes up in our direction and eventually comes back down to hit our stop loss. Now I don't have any issues with this, but I think maybe by the end of this week or sometime this week I'll be performing a research to see if adding a time-based exit and taking out the time-based entry would resolve these two issues, which would enable us close out at much better prices on gold and have probably even better entries on gold as well. Okay, now I'm not certain if this is going to work. There's probably a 60 to 70% chance that it could work, but I'm going to perform the research. If it does work, I'm going to integrate it into the code and update the code, obviously. But if it doesn't work, then we're going to have to look for other theories or stick to this particular version. So I would say on this Expert Advisor, we are still on the learning phase, right? We are still learning how the edge works. We are still learning how to make the best out of the strategy that the Expert Advisor is trading. It's still profitable. It's very profitable right now, but we are still learning how it works. Okay, so that brings us to the funding pips. Yesterday we passed our 100k funding pips accounts. This is the first account I'm purchasing. I actually purchased two at the same time, and I traded the both of them using the same strategy. I developed a strategy, I tested it out. So how we usually do it is this, right? You develop a strategy, you perform a research. If you find an edge, you develop a strategy to exploit that edge. And then once you do that, if you have a good strategy, you optimize it, you see how you can get the best performance out of it, and then you proceed to trade on it on the demo account. Now if you trade a demo account and it works well, then you can either move it to the live phase, or in this case a prop firm account, which is exactly what I did. So on the broker that I used, which is XS, that I always use for most of my personal accounts, I didn't have any issues when I was demo testing this. But on the live phase, and eventually I stumbled upon this issue. There was an error with my code. Now I wouldn't say it's 100% my fault, but it's about 80% my fault. There was an issue with my lot size calculation. So up until now, I've always felt that the tick size and the tick value are usually specific values, right? I didn't know that. I have only experienced this issue for gold. I didn't know that on some brokers this value might be different, and because of this you might get crazy lot size as the return for the lot size calculation. I've actually experienced this issue before, and apparently I even added a fix to this Expert Advisor that I was using here, and the fix was that if you get a crazy lot size that is above the lot size that you set as your maximum lot size, rather than using that crazy lot size, use the maximum lot size, which in this case it actually used the maximum lot size, because the lot size calculated was a very insane crazy lot size. So I ended up using that value and I went down by 4%. I literally almost failed this account. I went down by 4.5% thereabouts, and the daily drawdown is 5%. So I nearly almost lost this account. So I had to stop, fix the Expert Advisor, and I happened to have some sort of issues as well with it. I was still learning about how the Expert Advisor works, even though it was profitable, still getting the best out of it, still understanding the edge that I was meant to exploit. And I believe that I've done that now, and the Expert Advisor is very good. This Expert Advisor has not been released. Like, I don't intend to sell it or give it out to anyone, but I'm just letting you guys know on how trading with Expert Advisors work. Okay, so we are currently trading the phase 2 accounts now. I'm going to update you guys on the performance of that as well. And also, by the way, for the range trading Expert Advisor that I talked about in my previous videos, we've actually used that to pass a phase 1 account as well, and we are currently trading the phase 2 now. So if you haven't watched that video on range trading, go and watch it, and you can develop an Expert Advisor like that to trade for you. Okay, so guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.